El economista tiene el placer de reunirse con el presidente del Nasdaq OMX, Magnus Bocker, para comentar sobre un año de infarto para el sector financiero a este lado del Atlántico y también un año muy importante para este indicador, uno de los más importantes del mundo. Thank you, Mr. Bocker, for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And first of all, I would like to know a little bit about what are going to be the main challenges for the next year for the Nasdaq after investing in the Dubai Stock Exchange and with this ongoing crisis.
It's a very good question. I think we, as you well start to mention, we've had a very, very intensive and very exciting year for Nasdaq OMX. Not only did we merge in the beginning of the year Nasdaq with OMX from Europe, from the Nordic part. We have, as you said, been investing in the Dubai and the Middle East market. We've seen investing in Nord Pool, which is the first and the largest electricity exchange in Europe. So we've seen a lot of changes in the US. We have invested in Philadelphia and Boston Stock Exchange. So we have really created a new company out of what we old Nasdaq. So we have a very exciting company. I think we have never in the history of this company have had so many challenges that we have right now and opportunities. And when we look into next year, I think it's the first and foremost we have is really to integrate the company, to have the different parts becoming one company, because we see just in that there is so many opportunities coming.
So there's not going to be any other buying in the future?
I think you should never. We are management. We are management of a company. We are, of course, always opportunistically looking into things. But I think what we have as our prime agenda as a first point is really to integrate all the acquisitions and to make them more part of our group. And I think out of that you will see new products, new services, and hopefully therefore also more clients coming to us.
And how do you see the competitors, for example, the New York Stock Exchange after acquiring Amex? How do you feel about them?
I think that we have always a great respect for our friends in the industry, which is sometimes very much cooperating with them and sometimes also competing with them. So I think we will continue to work very much parallel with them, and most of the time we are working with the same topics, but of course from time to time we need to compete about the listings or the trading.
And what do you think about Spanish Stock Exchange? There's any interest maybe in acquiring any entity there in Spain?
No, I think that is not necessarily. First of all, I've had the pleasure personally to work very long time with the BMV, with the Spanish Stock Exchange and the Spanish exchanges, and I highly regard them. There is a great management team in Madrid, and they've done a fantastic job. So we appreciate working with them and cooperating with them, and that's what we intend to do going forward as well.
And let's talk about a little bit about the ongoing crisis going on in the financial sector right now. What are your personal opinions or the personal view about what's happening with Wall Street? We saw a lot of big companies falling down. We saw the government having to intervene in these companies. What is your personal opinion about this?
I think you're pointing first and foremost that we have a turbulent time and there is a real storm going on. And I think most of the spontaneous thoughts goes to all these employees that need to leave their different companies, families that have all the issues following this. So that is maybe the first thing. The second thing is, of course, that even though it's a time of despair, it's a time of a lot of difficulties, there's also a time of opportunities. And I think for Nasdaq OMX and all the things we do and had a very good year and we have a strong business model, I think we also see some opportunities coming. What I might highlight is that the opportunities and the reason for some of this crisis is actually what we have shown over this, I would take it the other way around, is that the successes we've had during this crisis is actually to show that the stock exchanges works. It's been a fantastic success with the stock exchange. We've been open every day, you can trade every day, you could do a lot of things and it works. The credit market has really been locked up and the credit market has been dysfunctional in a way. We see it from Nasdaq OMX, a lot of opportunities in the credit market to see how we could support with our experiences from operating open and transparent markets, open and transparent clearinghouses. If we could take that experience into the credit market, I think that will help. And I think personally we could have avoided a lot of the problems we see right now if some of the clear waves of doing things in the equity market, also in the credit market, I think we wouldn't be where we are today.
So do you think there's an immediately need of clarified supervision in the financial sector to create, like, for example, the new SEC president named today by President Obama? Do you think these are going to be steps to reinforce this supervision in the financial markets?
I think first and foremost we are very happy to see Mary Shapiro from FINRA, who we had a very good relationship with, and she's very professional. To see her taking on the helm of the SEC, I think that's very, very good. It will be good for the market. I think this market doesn't need more regulation. The US financial market doesn't need more regulation. I think what this market needs is more intelligent regulation. It's more sort of taking care of where the market is today. A lot of the regulation that is regulating the market today is very antiquated. It's from the 30s and onward, and it needs new regulation, no doubt.
And what do you think about the new administration taking on January 20th? Do you think that Obama's administration it's gonna be able to solve all these crises, ongoing crises in the financial sector and in the U.S. economy?
I think it's too early to say how successful and what they will do. I think there is something that impresses not only me but many of us in the financial sector here, is that with the speed of change, with the determination to do things, with the professionalism as they do it, we are having even people within our teams working in the transition team, and I think all the reports I get back is that this is a very professional and potentially the most professional handover that will ever take place so far in the history here, and I think that's a good sign that we will see support for handling the crisis also from the new government, from the new regime.
And what kind of rules or steps has taken Nasdaq OMX to help their investors? Because, for example, you break this rule that make all these companies trading below $1 just to be able to continue under the index. Could you comment on that?
Absolutely. I think that this is very much our role as well as being the exchange. We are here to support not the listed companies, to see to that they could have continuous flow of funds through the market. We support investors so they could trade every day. And I think when you're going through these kind of very fundamental changes as we do today, we always need to be very open-minded and seeing what could we do to constantly support them. And that could be to sort of postpone certain rules, saying that these tremendous changes really need to be done and taken care of in another way. And I think the postponement of the $1 rule is a very good example of that. I think the way we supported the short selling rules is a very good example. The way we're trying to get new services and new products to our listed companies, another way of doing it. We invest heavily on the technology side to get a lot of our members and the banks and the brokers better technology to trade on our market.
And do you think the Bush administration has done a good job controlling the financial markets during these last 8 years?
I think it's very hard for me to have any strong opinion one way or the other. I think we need to admit that we are in a situation, but at the same time, remember that the markets we are operating, especially the stock markets, have been functioning phenomenally well. So I think that is important to remember.
And going back to the beginning, what is the current recruitment approach when Nasdaq OMX wants to invest in other companies?
I think when we're looking into expanding our business model, when we like to do new things, I think one of the core things we're looking into is that it fits into the overall strategies. We're just not looking into whether it's a good or bad investment. I think we're very core looking into what we have. I mean, as I said previously, we have a focus on clearing and settlement to see what we can do there. I think some of the new products, whether it's the carbon trading, electricity trading, is very interesting. We see that the interest to be listed with our market is something very, very interesting. We are very proud to announce that on Tuesday we announced that News Corp, the owner of Dow Jones and Wall Street Journal and a lot of media, was actually deciding to move their listing from the New York Stock Exchange to Nasdaq because of the services and the products we have. I think that kind of things is very important for us, continues working with existing and new clients.
And just last question, do you think United States and the global economy is going to be able to overcome this crisis?
Absolutely. I think the only thing we learned that this is a storm. It's a severe storm. We don't know all the things that it will knock down, but we know one thing for sure, and that the storm will pass. There will be a new time. I think we will be stronger, and we have learned a lot when we're getting out of the storm, and we've always done it before, and I think we'll do it this time again.
We hope so.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bocker, for your time.
My pleasure.
Y a los lectores del Economista les recordamos que visiten nuestras páginas web www.eleconomista.es, www.ecodiario.es y también se den una vuelta por www.nasdaq.com.